Have you ever wished you could turn back time? And if you could turn back time, have you ever wished you could share that wisdom with your younger self? You know, as I cross 50, this milestone of 50, I'm going to be 55 this year. I uncovered profound insights that transformed my life, and I'm gonna share them with you. And today I'm opening up about the 5 lessons I wish I'd known earlier, hoping they can guide you on your journey. Number 1, embrace self-acceptance. I don't know, this one sounds like it should be so simple, but you know, this is one thing that as women we struggle with. With age comes the realization that acceptance is crucial. Embracing who you are, including your flaws and your imperfections and your strengths, leads to greater inner peace. And I think through life, that's all we want, even in our 20s. But we look for it in different ways when we're in our 20s, because we look from it through the gaze and the eyes of others. When you get to be 55, you start looking through your own eyes to see and determine who you are. Now, you know, there was a time where I struggled with this. I struggled with my flaws, you know, and especially the flaws that others had pointed out to me, whether it was, you know, you got a big butt, or you got, you know, your thighs are too big. You spend a lot of time, or I spent a lot of time like working on those things as if something was wrong with me. And it's as if, you know, the light bulb kicks on and you realize, oh my gosh, it really doesn't matter. Those things about you that other people may point out as flaws could be some of your biggest superpowers. For me, you know, the fact that I have big thighs allows me to do some things that maybe others can't do. Right? Like I have a lot of strength in my legs. So I have, you know, I'm able to, where someone else may not be able to push or lift something, I have the ability to do that. So it's my superpower. So I embrace it with everything that it is, with all of me. And not only that, once you start embracing your flaws, this is when you really start to realize it doesn't matter what other people think, because you are somewhat self-centered, right? You are centered in the self. You are centered in your authenticity at that point. And so what other people, and you already know that your flaws can be used as strengths. So there's nothing anyone else can say. So I really wish I had known this at 20, because I would have spent a lot less time worrying about how big my thighs were. But I digress. Let's move on. Number 2, prioritize health and wellness. Woo! This health truly becomes, when you turn 50, even before you turn 50, health truly becomes your wealth as you age. You know, regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and a routine medical checkup. It's so important and essential for maintaining vitality. So, you know, when I was younger, I didn't care. I thought, you know what, I'm good. I don't need to go to the doctor. I don't need to worry about my health. And I think I've discussed with you like how much I love to drink wine. Yes, I love my wine. But, you know, obviously overdoing it wreaks havoc on your body. It wreaks havoc on your nervous system. It wreaks havoc on your your immune system even, right? Like, and it causes inflammation. And when I realized that this was happening, I had to make a change. And it went against everything I thought when I was in my 20s, right? And when I was in my 20s, health was going to the gym so I can look good for somebody else. Right now, health for me, when you realize that your health is not about how you look for somebody else, your health is about how you're going to live your best life through the end of your days. If I would have known that, if I would have realized that, I would have approached my health in a whole different way. And I would have been way ahead of the game. For heaven's sake, I used to smoke. I was a smoker, and I thought, just like I told you about the wine, I thought, I don't need, I'll be fine. I don't need to quit smoking. The things we do when we're young, But, number 3, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Meaningful relationships provide more than any amount of money or material thing that you can get. And yes, we need money to survive, but your fulfillment doesn't come from your material wealth. Investing time in family and friends enriches life profoundly. I can remember my grandmother just pouring into her kids and even if she couldn't pour into her kids when they were young, but she poured into her grandkids and her great grandchildren and her great grandchildren. And I saw how this pouring of love into her family just brought her life and extended her life well into her 90s. So, you want to have meaningful connections with loved ones where possible. I know it's not possible for all of us, but even if it's not with your immediate family, if you don't have those connections with your immediate family, you can find your soul tribe and build some real connections. The human mind and the human spirit is made to be connected to others. So that's really important. And the wealth is great and the wealth will come, but not valuing it over the connections that you have is truly, truly important. And number 4, embrace lifelong learning. Remember when you were in school? Like way back when you let's go back to elementary school, and you couldn't wait for it to be over because you couldn't wait to get to junior high, and then you couldn't wait for junior high to be over, and because you didn't want to go to school anymore, and you couldn't wait to be done with high school, and then you were excited about college, but then when you got there, you couldn't wait to get out of there because your professors were driving you crazy, and you were like, when can I go out into this world and just start working and making some money? And then you find out that everything you learned in school is not enough to get you through life. Let me tell you something. It's never too late to learn something new. Pursuing new skills and hobbies keeps your mind sharp and adds extra excitement to life. Every day I get on here to and I have to tape. I have to figure out the lighting, and it's not always perfect because I'm always learning something new. I have to go edit the videos to post them, and you'll see sometimes you're like, wow, that's weird. That's because I'm doing it myself and I'm learning. Because when you don't use your mind to learn things, you lose it, and that's a fact. That's science. That's backed by science. So. And my grandmother was, this is something she knew, and she used to get like crossword puzzles and Sudoku. For as long as I can remember, as long as she could, she would do that. And she kept all her faculties to the end of her days. Striving for perfection, though, can lead to unnecessary stress. Accepting mistakes as part of life allows for personal growth and happiness. Let me tell you, there's like I was just telling you about my videos and how I upload them. They're not always perfect, right? Because I'm doing it myself. I'm coming here, I'm editing, I'm learning something new, I'm trying different things, and that's what it's all about. It's not about coming here and being perfect. It's not even today. Like, you know what? I don't know. I won't even know what this looks like until I'm done taping, right? And then I'm gonna probably see, oh, I could have done that and I could have done this. But if you are stuck on perfection, you'll never do anything. And for some reason, when we are growing up, you know, you're taught to compete against others, and as you're competing against others, you're trying to be perfect, right? But perfect to whose standards? And you start to realize that you can never meet somebody else's standards, because guess what? They will always move the bar. They will always move the bar a little bit further. So guess what? It's your standard. And whether or not it's perfect, whether or not you sound, you know, if you're making videos like me, whether or not you think you sound like a little clumsy, or, you know, it's not perfect. I don't sound like the newscaster. Well, guess what? I'm not the newscaster. I am not the newscaster. I am not the next person. I am here on my journey, learning how to navigate this path the best way I can. And if you were perfect on day one, there would be nothing to learn, right? What would be the point of doing it? Because you would already be perfect. Like what would be the point? So, nobody starts off perfect. If I could say anything to my younger self at this point, it would be love yourself for who you are. Don't let anyone else tell you who you are, because they don't know. They really don't know. And you don't know, I would say that you don't know who anyone else is, so don't judge other people. Let them be who they are. It's okay to be perfectly imperfect. And it's okay to be authentic, whether that means you're quirky, you have a funny laugh like me, or if there's anyone out there listening that is not 50 yet, maybe you're 25 and you're still stuck and worried about what your spouse thinks, what your mom thinks, what your dad thinks, what your auntie thinks, stop it. Stop it right now. True happiness comes when you stop trying to live up to what everybody else thinks, and you just live up to where you want to be. And whether or not they like it, they don't have to like it. You have to like it. And not just do you have to like it, you need to be happy where you are. And if you are happy, content, living your best life, guess what? You attract the people who are supposed to be in your life, the people who get you, the people who love you just for who you are, big thighs and all. You know, the people who love you with the mole on your face, the people who love you, you know, whether you're super skinny, whatever, however it is that you are going to attract people who just love you, because they don't just see the outer shell, they see all of you from the inside out. And you know, it's pretty amazing. I'm gonna leave you with this comment that people don't always see who you are because they're not meant to be on the journey with you. People will not always see who you are because they're not meant to be on the journey with you. So this is maybe a bonus that I'm giving you, because this is number 6, I guess. When I was younger, I used to think, why don't I fit in with all the other kids? Why don't I fit in with, my other classmates? And, they didn't see my value as their classmate. They didn't see my value as, and maybe they weren't. And then if I would have known back then, right, and not been worried about, oh my gosh, I want them to be my friends. Why aren't they my friends? And trying to do all the things to get them to be my friends. Had I not spent the time to do that, I would have just realized that they were not meant to be on the journey with me. Listen, I would have moved forward so much quicker. As when you're a child or a teenager, there's so much emphasis put into fitting in, right? Maybe even in families, there's so much emphasis put into fitting into your family, fitting the mold of what your family thinks family's supposed to be, what family thinks you're supposed to be. Because, when we're navigating those waters, it's like somebody before you decided how the family is supposed to be. And when you come in and you're like, I'm different. You do that. I don't do that. I don't want to do that. You kind of, you rock the boat, right? That rocks the boat. And here's the thing. If you're rocking the boat and you're not doing what everybody else is doing, guess what? You are a natural born leader. So that's the thought that I want to leave you with. That when you are that person that's quirky, not following the crowd, just remember that you're meant to lead, not follow. And there's something about yourself that you're meant to learn as the years go by that will bring you your wealth, that will bring you your soul tribe, that will bring you exactly where you are supposed to be in this life.